So a third of the houses in South Carolina come from evictions and foreclosures. So for 18, 20 months, we've lost a third of our inventory. So now you got more buyers because rates are low, but you have less houses. So it's now supply and demand, which is why all the houses in the market is shooting up.
Look, are you a coach, a consultant, a service provider, or a course creator? Listen, you want your clients to pay you $3,000 to $10,000 for your program. You want to stop nickel and diming. You want $3,000 to $10,000 clients. Listen, I got a special gift for you, okay? This is from my friend, my buddy, and a coach of mine. He helped me make $30,000 in a week. My first time making $30,000 in a week, I had 6 5K clients, okay? He helped me. Listen, it works even if you don't have a big following. As a result, his program has accumulated $250 million in revenue for his clients. Do you want part of that? Listen, it's a personal endorsement from my boy, No Cap. I'll show you the receipts. You get free access. Go to socialproofgift.com or text PROOF to 904-447-5274. All right, let's get into the episode.
Yo, sorry to interrupt your podcast, but check this out. If you're looking for a real estate mentor, you came to the right place at the right time. Why do I say that? Because me and my team are now hosting mentorship calls Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. for only $1 for your first month. Again, only $1. That's unheard of. You won't find a community like that. So what's going on? We're going to be talking about wholesales and acquisitions, flips and rehabs, credit, and even financing maybe your first deal. You won't find lenders that will finance inexperienced investors, but you can find it at thementorshipcalls.com. Again, you can go to thementorshipcalls.com right now. To add, you could also hit the link below to sign up. Now, the one thing that's going to be really, really crazy about it is that you're going to be able to network with real estate investors from all across the country. So man, tap in, let's get together and build generational wealth like this.
Welcome to another edition of the Social Proof Podcast. We find really amazing people that did really amazing stuff. I don't know if I use dope anymore because it's a drug. But you dope.
Absolutely.
You think so?
Oh, for sure.
Okay,
for
well,
sure.
we about to find out. All right, so really excited about this interview, man, especially because you are the #1 Black-owned real estate brokerage in South Carolina?
Yes, sir.
How did you find that out, first off?
Well, there's not a lot of Black brokerages in the state of South Carolina, for one. And then doing the research to see how many people have agents in their office and the locations that they have. So we grew from none to the largest own in a short period of time.
So you lit. Well, let's just jump into. I want you to introduce yourself. How do you introduce yourself? Are you married?
No.
So you in a club?
Don't go to clubs.
You don't go to clubs?
Nah.
Lounge?
Go to the lounge.
Well, in Atlanta, lounges and clubs, the same thing. How do you introduce yourself?
I introduce myself as Damian Burris. That's it.
That's not it, bro.
I promise you.
All right. You'd be like, if somebody says, what's your name? Like, oh, Damian. They'd be like, oh, okay, Damian.
Yeah.
What you got going on? What do you share it with then?
I'm a real estate agent.
You're a real estate agent?
That's what I say.
But you're a broker.
I am.
You're a liar.
No.
It's
the same thing. It's the same thing.
I ain't bad.
Now the more we progress, answers come out.
Got you. But you got a lot going on. Obviously, real estate brokerage, and a fleet of cars?
Yes.
And what were you telling me? You made a connection with Enterprise or something like that?
Absolutely. So it's a connection where our fleet is housed at a location, and we interchange rentals through their company.
Hold on. Your fleet is housed at their location? At
a certain location, yeah.
Enterprise, the company?
Mm-hmm.
So you were doing the car rentals before that, yes?
Yes.
For how long?
4 years we were doing it before we got to connect.
How you put that play together?
Yeah.
We're on the Social Proof Podcast. I'm going to ask you the real.
So it's making relationships. It's making relationships with different managers at different locations. So then you get that relationship, and then you get to add your fleet to what's already happening.
But Enterprise pays you when they rent out the cars to their clients.
Absolutely.
That's lit.
How
can I do that?
We can talk. Definitely.
You think I can create the same thing in Atlanta, or It's a specific relationship with a specific manager.
Yes, that part. But to get a fleet anywhere, yeah, we can talk about that because we're about to go to New Jersey and Miami.
Oh, word.
Right.
Are you doing the same connection with the rental car company?
That won't be.
No?
It just be a different, just with Turo. Just found out that because of the taxi law in New York, you can't rent a car in New York. All rentals come from Jersey.
You can't rent a car in New York?
Because of the taxis. The taxi law is protected. So a rental car business in New York is illegal.
Oh, that's wild.
So
what about Uber?
Uber you can do that, but it's a rental car. Uber is different.
Right.
You know, you're renting a ride.
Right, for sure.
Right. You can't rent a car in New York. You got to go to Jersey to pick it up.
Oh, that's wild. I didn't even know that.
Absolutely.
I didn't know that. So where do you spend most of your time, on the real estate side or the car rental side?
Real estate side.
Real estate?
The car side is automated.
So tell me about your real estate. So is your being the biggest broker in South Carolina, biggest African-American owned broker in South Carolina,
right.
Is it based on how many agents you have or how many houses you sell or the revenue or what?
Definitely based on the size you have as far as agents and also your locations.
How many locations you got?
5, about to open the 6th.
Word.
Yeah.
Not to be in your pockets, but be in your pockets. What's that revenue like as a broker?
It's definitely $1 million company, multi-million-dollar company. Volume, we did about $75 million this year. We're shooting for $150 million volume.
$150 million in volume.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes. Yeah. That's lit. How'd you get into real estate?
So my business partner, who's Pressley, Cody, shout out to Cody Pressley. He saw me. I had just purchased a home. And I love 2 things. I love structure and I love time. So houses and watches, right? So
That's dope.
I walked into the model home and we just started talking. And for one, I'm a retired detective.
Yeah, what were you doing at this time? You were
12
a detective?
years retired detective.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
You walk in this model home.
Yep. And I see him and we're talking, we're chopping it up, and 2 or 3 people walk in to look at the model home, and I know all of them.
How long ago was this?
2015.
Gotcha. Okay.
And he was like, how do you know everybody walked through the door? I was like, well, I police this community, so I know everybody. So he was like, you should have been in real estate. I was like, nah, I know law. I don't know real estate. He's like, nah, I'm telling you, you should have been in real estate. So I was like, nah. So every day going home, I would see him at the model home. Mm-hmm. And I just throw my hand up, and then sometime I would go by and just talk to him. And he'd be like, yeah, this is what I made this week. I was like, oh. And I'm looking at my check like, it wasn't nowhere near that. You know? Right. So I would sit with him on the weekend just to parlay and talk with him because I had an interest in it. And next thing you know, I wound up going to school and get my real estate license. My first year, I made $150K.
Really?
Still policing.
While you're a cop?
While I'm a cop.
Yikes.
And I knew it was over when I was at a scene where somebody lost their life, and I got a phone call that said, you got a pre-approval for a client. And I was like, yes. And everybody looking at me like, what's going on?
Mad awkward and inappropriate.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, it's time for me to go. And I got injured in the line of duty. I tore my quadricep tendon, and the doctors wrote me out, told me I could retire. So I issued my retirement to the South Carolina State Board at that time. And at the age of 32, I retired with benefits from law enforcement.
Still get paid?
Still get paid.
Oh, nice little check. I mean, it ain't nothing crazy.
Yeah, no. Keep the gas in the car, though.
Yeah. Say less. So, all right. So you get your real estate license, mm-hmm. and you're a cop.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me like the balance of like working your job and building this business. Did you know you wanted to leave?
I didn't at first. It was going to be.
And how long was the process? How long was that?
I got my license in 2015. I left 2016. So
the same year.
Yep.
You was in and out.
Yep. So I knew, because everybody says I want to do real estate part-time. But real estate is never part-time. Because the minute you answer your phone on your full-time job, real estate became full-time. So you can't do it because real estate doesn't respect boundaries. So I said, I got to go. So I wound up retiring June 16th, 2016, 3:00. Sun was shining. I know the time, the day. Right.
Were you nervous though?
I was because all I had to fall back on, on the cop side, I wasn't making a whole lot. So all I had to fall back on was my retirement that I was going to be getting every month. So I was like, listen, and this is the formula that I had a quit party with one of my offices last week, 2 months ago. And I figured up what I make. I figured up how much money I was going to make for the rest of the year, subtract my bills, and realize I was only going to make $3,000 for the remainder of the year, and I was going to give them close to 900 hours. So if I can give myself 900
Hold
hours...
on, what you mean you was going to make $3,000?
Okay, so...
You talking about from what you make, minus your bills.
Minus my bills. And how much time I had to work for the rest of the year. So if I'm working a 40-hour week, right? If I'm in June, I'm working a 40-hour week.
You was going to net profit $3,000?
Net profit $3,000 after my bills. So I'm giving you 900 hours for $3,000. That's stupid.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, my man said something. He was like, for people that are in that situation, they think they get paid when they don't really get paid. Their bills get paid.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But they don't get paid.
That's right. That's right.
That's deep.
So when I saw that, I was like, nah, I can give myself 450 hours and make 3 times the amount.
The facts. The facts. Did you have any entrepreneurial bone in your body like before that?
None. Always work for somebody else.
I like that story because there are some people that are listening or watching and they feel like you got to be born entrepreneur to go out and build some stuff.
Right.
Really, you just have to not want to be in your situation bad enough?
That's right. Absolutely.
That's lit. So your second year?
So my second year did great. In the state of South Carolina, I think with a lot of states, you have to do, what's lack of a better term, an apprentice. So you got to do 3 years under a broker in charge or under a brokerage before you can branch off and do your own.
Okay.
So my second year
Who was you with?
A company called Graham Realty.
Okay.
Yeah, he was the mayor at the time. So I went to him because he was a plug.
Right.
Everybody knew him. They calling him.
You learned a lot, I suppose.
I did. So my second year, I did great. My third year, I started seeing what I was leaving on the table. And I was like, wait a minute. For what I'm leaving on the table, what I'm paying him, I could start my company and do better. Yeah. So it was a no-brainer for me. I only got my broker's license.
Did he feel the type of way when you left or no?
Nah, he was making plenty of bread.
Right.
No.
So the next, so 3 years in, you get your own brokerage. Right. So that's what, 2018? 2018. Who was the first person that you hired that trusted you with their career?
The first person that I hired that trusted me with a career was a student. So not only was I a real estate broker, I went and became a real estate instructor for the state because I knew the only way for me to know how to navigate real estate is to teach it and let the state curriculum show me how to do it.
Hold on. So you get your license, then you go to be a broker, and then you go to be an instructor.
Certified instructor to teach the state curriculum. So I taught my goal was to teach 350 students. I taught 500.
And it wasn't to get a job, it was just to learn more about real estate.
Absolutely, because I know they wasn't going to give me the game.
That's smart. So were you still actively selling houses too? Or
Yes.
It seems like the reason I would want to get a brokerage, and I was talking to my friend Denise, my thing is I would want to be a broker so I don't have to sell houses. And that's what you would think from a brokerage.
Yeah, you would. But the way I see it is this, like, we had an issue in law enforcement and my police chief said, well, if you do it like this, you'll get this. And I had to tell him, you haven't put handcuffs on anybody since 83. They don't get out and say, sir, no more. Right? So it's different. So I can't tell my agents how to navigate or negotiate a deal if I've not sold a house in 15 years.
That's a fact.
So when they come to me, I'm either in the situation or I've been through it. So I'm more relatable as a broker.
Yeah, where we're at right now in terms of, do you do commercial or residential?
Both.
Both? Mm-hmm. So where are we at in like the commercial landscape right now in this world that we're living in?
As far as?
Are the banks giving money?
Yeah, if you approved.
So I actually went to the bank the other day because I put in this super low offer.
Okay.
They wanted like $800,000.
Right.
We put in $400,000.
Yeah.
I don't care. You're gonna say yes or no. That's what I'm paying. They was like, nah, it's $750.
Right.
But before I went to the bank and I'm talking to the guy and he's like, yo, they not really doing a lot of lending right now.
You went to a big bank?
Chase.
Yeah. See, for one, you gotta go to, I can't say you can't go to Chase, but it's just like you gotta make relationships. That dude sitting behind the counter, he don't know you. So you got to go and make relationships with banks. Now, I ain't trying to get in your business, but do you have money in Chase?
Yeah.
All right. So then you got to start leveraging the fact that I got money in Chase.
You know what the crazy thing is? I wanted to be a, preferred client. Mm-hmm. But you have to have $150,000 in your personal account. Mm-hmm. And I don't.
Right. Yeah.
I don't pay myself a lot like that.
But see, they want that business to keep using your money. So if you threaten to take that kind of capital out, they don't want you to do that.
No, but I got it in business. It's just
Right.
I don't have it in personal. He said to be a private client, you have
Yeah.
you have it in your personal.
Right. Because the business could fold tomorrow. Who's the liability going to fall? Who's the key man for the liability to fall back on?
That makes sense.
Personal
That makes
guarantor.
sense. Okay, so big banks, they are lending.
They are lending.
It's just it has to be the right deal. What do you need for that?
Just depends on your scoring, your DTI, what that looks like, how much risk it is for you to get that kind of capital.
Mhm.
You know, just depends on what your business is. They're gonna want to know what you've been making. You know, how well you've been doing. You know, what's your projected sales or whatever
Yeah.
you got going on. Yeah.
Okay. And on the personal side,
Mhm.
it's not commercial. It's called residential.
Right.
Same criteria.
Yeah. It's same
I
criteria for
thought they
both
stopped
lending.
lending, bro, based on like this whole pandemic. It's not stop lending, but like they tighten the reins a little bit.
Real estate is at an all-time high because the pandemic caused the government to lower the rates.
Mhm.
So now you're bringing out more buyers. But we have a housing deficit because of the moratorium. So you can't evict people and you can't foreclose.
I saw that. What does moratorium mean?
So moratorium is just that. You freeze the ability to put people out or evict them. Now the issue is...
Did you know that, Joe? The moratorium means you freeze the ability. You freeze the ability to kick people out.
Right. So a third of the houses in South Carolina come from evictions and foreclosures. So for 18, 20 months, we've lost a third of our inventory. So now you got more buyers because rates are low, but you have less houses. So it's now supply and demand, which is why all the houses in the market is shooting up.
Dang, I don't know why I don't understand. You said a third of the houses, people got evicted.
Right. And foreclosures.
And foreclosures.
Those are resales. So, when a person loses their house,
Yeah.
that's how we get them to flip them. So if you stop freezing houses, auctions do probably 70 houses a month. So you do 70 times 12, we lost those houses for a whole year. So we don't have no resales or no flips. So now you got a housing shortage. So the people that are winning are the builders, but they're jacking the price up and they can't get the houses out the ground quick enough.
Right. Even with the high cost of wood and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. So then you had that issue because COVID shut down a lot of operations because one of the big lumber companies in South Carolina, if you had more than 10 people with COVID, you had to shut your lumber company down. So if you got 23 lumber yards and you shut 12 down, then how you going to make your money from that other 12 you're missing? You jack your lumber prices up.
Got you. Do you just sell the houses or do you like buy and hold for yourself as well?
We do all that. Buy and hold. Right now it's hard, but yeah.
Because the prices are crazy.
Absolutely.
But I guess you as a broker, you get weird stuff come across your desk where it's like before it hits the market, right?
All the time.
So why don't you invest in those?
Because you got everybody doing it now. I mean, if in the last 5 years, look at how big flipping has been. Everybody's flipping now. So you got more people saturating the market to do it. So it's just a saturated market.
So right now, it's a hard time to get in real estate. Would you agree?
It is if you're trying, unless you got loan money. But all the real investors, because the moratorium just lifted. So all the real investors have been sitting back waiting on the foreclosures to hit the market so they can buy.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying a third of it was like just frozen in like, yo, you can't evict nobody. But now...
Right.
God, so you were doing the same. You were just sitting back like waiting. So you about to buy a half of South Carolina?
Absolutely. I can't wait for it to come out. And then you got investors. I got investors that, that buy $2-3 million a month before the pandemic.
Dang. So what does this do to the market? So does it, because we're going to have more inventory and but we won't have as many buyers, which means the housing costs come down?
Absolutely. Supply and demand is reversed then. So now that you have more houses, less buyers, then that's the issue. But you're not going to have less buyers because the mortgage rates are at an all-time low. So people that wasn't looking to buy are coming out because these are historic prices. I mean, I know some people that bought at 1.97s.
So this is like some 2008 stuff going on right now.
Well, not as far as us crashing, but how crazy it is with the real estate market. Yeah.
And I know a lot of people picked up in that era and like they well off because of that time frame.
Absolutely. And if you can go ahead and get your pre-approval now and wait till a house hit the market, that's it. That's the way to go.
How long can you hold a pre-approval for?
90 days. Some people can do 120. Just depends on who your lender is.
You got some little joints for me that you're not
Absolutely.
going to take for yourself?
Yeah, I got you. I can put you on. You want the stuff
Really?
in South Carolina?
Yeah.
I got you.
But I'm saying I don't want the stuff that you don't want. I want the stuff you want that you like, yo, damn, let me hold you
because
down.
I want to get in your pocket and your people. So, you know what I'm saying? You're going to put me on everybody else, and I'm going to slide you some property.
All right, Gooch, man. Ever since we did the podcast episode, people are building home healthcare businesses all across the country. What is going on in this industry, bro?
Man, people are seeing that they can actually turn a passion into an actual business. So I have a passion for taking care of individuals inside of their homes using registered nurses, LPNs, and CNAs. And these are people that cannot take care of themselves. So I just run the business side, and my actual nursing staff actually do the clinical work. So I'm just a business owner. So you don't have to have any medical training or any medical background, because at the end of the day, I run the business. My nurses actually do the clinical work. I have actually one of my mentees here. Her name is China. She started her own home healthcare agency using my blueprint. So I just wanted to bring her here to kind of, let you know that I really do know what I'm doing.
Sure. So you took the course, right? And what was the experience like? How was it?
I had a great experience. He taught me a lot about marketing, about policies and procedures, and just being confident and being a business owner.
You never ran a business before, though?
I've never ran a business.
This is your very first business?
It's my first business.
You ain't sell no Girl Scout cookies or nothing? This is your first business?
It's my first business.
And how many clients do you have now?
Right now, I have 5 clients.
5 clients.
Mm-hmm.
And you make about how much per month total?
About $5,000 to $6,000 per month.
And when did you open your business? How long has your business been open?
It's been open for about a month now. So
your first month, $5,000 to $7,000?
my first month, $5,000 to $7,000.
Let's go. Yo, you are just so unassuming and sweet and like quiet. You would not know that you're a boss.
Oh, I'm
We about
definitely
to scale
a
it up?
boss. Yeah.
We scaling it up. All right, listen, man. HomeHealthCareBlueprint.com. Go to it. Listen, I'm in the process right now. My policies and procedures are they done? They're done, right?
Yes, they actually got done today. That's not even trying to be funny because we're on here. It literally got done today.
Listen, you get a discount. You know you want social proof. You get a discount. So click the link below somewhere. But let's get back to the episode. All right, what you got a management company out there?
Yeah, property management. We do all that.
Oh, yeah. Joe, you got something on it? What's up? All right, bet. Let's do it. We out here for sure. All right, that's exciting too, because I've been looking at the real estate, but it's been so crazy with like high prices. I really thought this lady, because it was commercial, she ain't doing nothing with the property. I just tried to like lowball her. They own it flat out. I'm like, yo, take this $400-something. I didn't even know where I was getting money from. I knew I was gonna, with that much equity, somebody's gonna give me a loan.
Yeah.
What's the best way to go about it? So are you saying go into a smaller bank?
You can go to a smaller bank, or you can do, like you just said with Joe, do crowdfunding.
Right.
Everybody put you in $100K if you're gonna do that.
Joe, you need $100K, bro. You heard it. You heard the man.
Yeah.
So you say $100K.
Quick hundo.
Right.
But you can do crowdfunding, or you can do hard money, or however y'all do it, or, and get it that way.
Got it. Is that how you plan on building your wealth?
Well,
in real estate?
Yeah, definitely. That's one way. So yeah, I mean, that's one of the tiers of wealth. Mm-hmm. Emergency fund, reserves, stocks and bonds, real estate, and precious metals.
You got all that? You got some precious metals?
Yeah, a few. Got a few jewels.
Jewels? Yeah. Okay, I see you shining. All right, so you said real estate, stocks.
So emergency fund, reserves, stock.
Oh, emergency fund and reserves. Mm-hmm. That's the cash that you have.
Right.
What was the third one? Stocks.
Bonds.
What are bonds?
And then precious metals.
What are bonds?
I have no idea what the proper definition of bonds are, but yeah.
Do you have any bonds?
I don't have any bonds.
Okay. So you're just saying that's like the suite of things that make you wealthy. Your thing is like real estate and the jewels.
Right. And then other people time and other people money.
Explain that concept for me.
So it frees you up to do more, right? Mm-hmm. So you how rich would you be if you had 20 more days? Right. So I
drill you there.
Right. I've invented myself 80 plus times in my agents. So I could wake up, there's nothing I do to make money, but then there's nothing I do to stop making money.
What?
If I decide to wake up and do nothing, I'm going to make money.
Yes.
So I do nothing to make money, but then there's nothing I can do to stop making money.
That's hard.
You know what I'm saying?
That's hard.
So yeah.
That's hard.
Right.
Golly. Yo, so, and I want to kind of like backtrack a little bit. Do you have any like life-defining moments when you were a police officer?
Yeah. Definitely.
I always love to hear the stories of police officers, bro, because y'all hear, like, my boy, he was telling me, like, this story, like, he can hear bullets flying past his face. Nuts.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So give me like a story that changed your life with a principal.
So yeah, I did undercover work before. I did narcotics work before.
Word?
Yeah. I did that for 6 years. And that was scary.
Yo, hold on. So you like infiltrate, like what was it?
See how
Judas and the Black Messiah?
See how you do.
It was that boy?
See how you do. But I mean, in South Carolina, for one, it's just black and no record. They love that. So they threw me straight in. So
yo, okay. Oh, this is good. What is the conversation behind the scenes for someone in that position, undercover? What is going on?
What do you mean?
What's the training? What is
blending in? You gotta know the walk, you gotta know the talk, you gotta know the weight, you gotta know the prices, and then just blending in.
Is there a class?
Certain class, and then you blend in.
The Black Hood 101.
Right. So that's what it is. And you just do what you do.
All right, so give me the first day where you had to like meet the connect and act regular.
Oh man, the first day. I think my first deal was simply just flipping somebody else to put me onto the connect. Like, you gonna introduce me as your boy from out of town. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna go and I'm just gonna watch. And then at the second round, then you're gonna introduce me as, hey, he gonna pick it up. And then
you said flipping him. Oh, meaning he was in the game. Maybe he got caught up.
He got caught up.
And then now you got to introduce me as your boy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So it sounds like a move, but it's really how it works. So introduce them and you make the hand-to-hand and then you form the conversation. And after a while, you phase the connect that brought you in out. And now I'm just doing deals with him. Yeah.
Did you ever have to like meet him at the bar and like?
I met in strip clubs, bars, the bathroom at McDonald's, behind churches, like everywhere.
Really?
Yeah.
So what were y'all doing? Just obviously buying from?
Yeah.
How'd you feel though?
It was scary. I mean, probably
because you never know if they know and they're setting you up like, yeah, maybe buying this church, bro.
Right. One thing about the country, man, is like they didn't tell me, well, the place where we're gonna do this by. Sometimes the radio signal go out. I'm like, yo, wait, what you mean the radio signal go out? He's like, yeah, just stay in a certain spot. And if you stay in a certain spot, we good. So the code word was, okay, good deal. It looked good, right? So I'm saying, okay, it looked good deal. I don't hear no tires or nothing. So I'm like, yo, okay, good deal. We good. I don't hear nothing. I'm like, oh, I'm in the dead zone. So it's a mobile home trailer park, and all of them can. So I can't go knock on nobody's door and say I'm the police, because all of them can. So by that time, I do something to blow the horn. I was like, oh shoot, and then by that time they come in and.
What you mean you did something to blow the horn?
So they can hear me. The second thing is, if you don't have no radio contact, blow your horn. So I blew my horn.
In your car?
In my car. Yeah, that's scary. When you're in the bottom of a, one way in, one way out, and you ain't got no radio contact. Yeah.
Because they could have not blown the horn. They like, yo, why are you blowing your horn?
Yeah, yeah.
What did you learn from that scenario?
That scenario?
Yeah.
Always got good radio contact.
I don't know why I thought you were going to give me a deep life principle.
Deep. No, I didn't even stay alive. That's it.
Was your cover ever like almost blown?
Nah.
No?
Nah.
You look,
no,
I'm not judging. You look like you fit the enemy. No judgment, bro. But I so dope too.
And then it went from that to plain clothes. A lot of people think undercover is plain clothes is you got a gun and badge, but you in what I'm in. Undercover is you don't go to the department, you don't hang around police officers, you don't do none of that. Yeah, you'd be surprised who's undercover. Like I seen some grandmas 60 years old still work for FBI.
Really?
Oh yeah. Now they got to get out by 57, so 55. But you'll never know. Like it's crazy. The government got eyes everywhere.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. Could you, Joe? I ain't got that much heart either. Golly, I'd be shaking in my boots, bro.
My dad was law enforcement. My brother was too.
You ever have to do something that you wouldn't like that goes against your own moral code or something like that?
Nah. I ain't doing that. Nah. I'm doing that on either end because here's the problem. At the level I did it on, you got you had to take a lie detector test every 3 years. So you might get away with it for 2.5 years, but then when they polygraph you and you've done something that you shouldn't have, it's gonna come up in the polygraph.
So like the ones we saw on TV where they actually working with the drug dealers to make their own bread.
Mm-hmm.
That's fiction.
Oh no, it happens. It definitely happens. I've locked up a police officer before. It happens. But it's just it's got to be a big old bag for you to have me on the hook for the rest of my life. Because that's their card. The minute you take something, they got you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, nah.
And you're still in the area that you were a cop in, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't leave though? Like, I mean, I don't feel like I could do that type of, especially, I was the person, not calling you a snitch, okay? Right. But you the person that goes undercover, you locked up all my people, and you still selling real estate. Like, I see you.
Yeah, it was hard. It was hard.
Why didn't you move away somewhere?
Because I had built rapport and relationships there. As bad as it seems to be the police, there was a lot of good that I did for the community too. You know what I'm saying? One of the probably most notarized murders that I had was gang related. Young kid killed another kid to get into a gang. And that tore that family apart because it was a small community. So from that, we had to lock some people up, but a lot of gang initiatives by the federal government put in place. Safe schools was one of the things that happened from that killing. So even though it was kind of tough, I was a firm, fair, and consistent police officer. Gotcha. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Gotcha. And I know you do speaking, right?
Right.
Tell me about your platform, too. I thought it was super cool. You don't... Okay, so you say it because I'm going to mess it up.
My pulpit is different. Yes. So it means I don't speak from an elevated platform, but when I speak, it's to elevate you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's the ministry of help is what it is. Honoring every level of people. HELP. Right? So...
Are you a pastor?
No, I'm not a pastor. No.
You do sound like it, like you said earlier. you do got heavy deacon vibes in you. You know what I mean?
Deacon, bro. But yeah, so it's just the ministry of helping people, man. Helping people understand they can be a better them, financially, emotionally, all that.
Can everybody become a better them?
I think everybody has the potential to be a better them, yes.
I don't know.
Potential.
Yeah. But here's my rationale in this. Somebody who is you'll see somebody on the news, they done cut people up, or mentally there's something going on up here that causes them to do unnatural things. But I don't know if they're doing it because they like it or their brain tells them that's okay. And it's not easy to change that.
It's not. I think it depends. Now, we didn't say when they can, but I think they have the ability. The opportunity of a lifetime only lasts the lifetime of the opportunity. So that means you got a short window to change for the better. Some things you do, you might want to be better, but the memory of what you did is so great, nobody's going to allow you the opportunity. So you got to catch that opportunity in the moment because it won't be there forever.
How do people change?
I think it starts from within. You first got to see yourself first, because changing has nothing to do with what people are saying. I have a saying that says, use your inside voice. And a lot of times we think that means talk less. That means listen to what's happening on the inside. And when you use your inside voice, then you change yourself, and then other people notice it.
Yeah, but the listening to what I'm saying. So there's definitely been times in my life where me listening to myself or me listening to the voice that's inside has led me astray based on the way that I think. So I'm trying to get into, how do we get someone to change or realize at least that they need to change?
So I was sitting in a etiquette class, and the lady, she's been on Oprah, she's been everywhere. I can't think of her name, but she used the iceberg method. She said, in order for somebody to change their actions, they have to change their belief. What you see on top is minimal to what's at the bottom.
True.
So if you want to change behavior, you have to change beliefs. And I think it just making people or helping people understand and believe in a better them and show them something different, then they change their actions.
And what's the components of changing belief?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah. For me, what I've realized is environment is everything. And my beliefs have changed based on the environment that I'm around. So when I'm growing up in New Jersey, if you had a job making $18 an hour, moving boxes, you made it.
Right.
So everybody's looking for that warehouse job, right? Because in that environment, the belief is if I get a job with $18 an hour, sometimes they had like you work 4 days, you got 3 days off, you are lit. That's your belief. But then I got to a different place in my life where $18, that's just stupid. Why would I want to lift boxes all day? And I got around a different group of people who wore suits and ties and they're working from home. And it's like, yo, these are salespeople.
Right.
And that's what slowly changed my belief is my environment.
Definitely. I agree totally.
So how would someone get into that environment? Because obviously we are like speakers and we teach and speak, right? But there's some people that are just not going to accept, well, you got to change your inside or you have to change your belief without the steps. Right? So how do we at least get into the environment?
I think it's what it is. You got to get that exposure. I say all the time, what's worse, white privilege or black unexposure?
What's worse, white privilege or black unexposure?
White privilege is a car, but it's fueled by us not knowing. So they go further because we don't know, right? So you got to ask yourself, is racial injustices real? Yeah, they're there. But they only grow because we fail to know what's outside of what they call the hood. So I'm writing a book that talks about that, right? So the fair question is, what are you doing on this side of town? Is it racism or is it a fair question? Because supposedly our exposure is only what's in the hood. So if we built everything that you like over there, right, why are you out of the hood? Because we fail to get exposure that we need to further ourselves as a community.
That's a fact.
So you have to get around the environment. And what gets you around the environment? Exposure. So what's worse, white privilege or black unexposure?
Would you say it's harder for you at this level now, finding a higher level or somebody who is just coming into themselves? Maybe they work a minimum wage job, getting to just that very next level, right?
I think it's harder getting to the very next level. There are a lot of people that can help you come out of the mud. But getting to that next level is hard. I heard somebody say, if you put two people together, white man, black man, selling product, the white man will go home and look at the ingredients. We go home and look in the mirror. There's a difference.
What do you mean?
So, it's like, okay, my product didn't sell because maybe somebody's allergic to what's inside the bottle. His product didn't sell probably because of his skin tone. So you have to look at, okay, can I get further? Can I get further than what I am? I can't change my skin tone. He can change his ingredients. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's harder to excel to certain levels in certain climates. Sometimes because success is tricky.
Rooted in self-hate? You're saying that's actually a really good example. Like a white guy looks at the ingredients because the first thought isn't something's wrong with me.
No.
The first thought is, it must be something wrong with this product. We need to fix this product.
Absolutely.
But that's crazy. In our community, we start to like lose self-worth as entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
Right? If it doesn't work, we're like, okay, what's wrong with me?
Right. It's never what's wrong with the product. It's what's wrong with me. And then we're trying to change the inchangeable. That's not it.
That's real.
It is.
I think that message needs to be told more often.
Right.
Because we are looking, and I've obviously been, I fell victim to that. Like, is something wrong with me? I got to fix me.
Right.
What was the change for you? Like, when did your mind kick into a whole nother gear?
When I realized the value that I bring to the Black community and what I do. I have a lot of...
You do what you do specifically for the Black community?
Not specifically, but...
I know you talk about it a lot in those comparisons.
Right. My brokerage is all Black.
By design?
Not necessarily. But the crazy part is we do sell to other ethnicities. I have clientele that's
just don't want to work for you.
I did not say that.
Right, for sure.
But I mean, so that's what it is. But the life the moment for me was, it's like going to the DMV. They don't care that you have to wait because you need them. So I turned off the color and looked at what the product was. You need what I have. So it doesn't matter what color I am. If I get into the room, you're going to need it.
Those people that you said buy millions of dollars worth of real estate a month, what ethnicity are they?
Indian and Asian and
Really?
some white.
Why? Where do you think that comes from? Is Indian the right word? Is that politically correct? It don't feel right, Indian. I never say it. I know, but I don't know if that's the right word. Is it?
If you're from India, yeah.
Where's your mic at, bro? It's a long day. It's okay. So Native American. Is that Indian? No, that's not Native American. Yo, they are cooking me in the comments right now, bro. I'm learning. Y'all, I'm learning. All right, so why do you think Indians
I have no
got
idea.
bread? All of them got bread, too.
Yeah, I'm not messing up my connect fooling with you.
It's something going on in their culture. What have you learned from that culture?
They're strict. I take that back. I have a Jewish agent, and they don't believe in the word. Well, they don't believe in interest. If they can't pay it, they don't buy it. Matter of fact, interest is against their religion.
What?
Nah, real Jewish. If it's Muslim, I'm sorry. If they can't pay for it outright, they won't do it. Not at all. So they're built on the principle of let somebody give it to you that you don't have to pay back as a family member, or save your money up until you can. His mom and dad came over, 2 doctors. They stayed
Muslim.
They stayed in a 2-bedroom apartment until they were able to pay for an $800,000 house cash.
You know what's crazy, bro? And I don't even think Jake is Muslim, but Jake Taylor Jacobs, he was telling me the same thing. And I, even like to this day, I need to get him back on the podcast because I still don't understand it. But he was talking about it's better to live in an apartment than to have a mortgage on a house. He's like, yo, I'm not going to have a mortgage on a house. Which in my head, it doesn't make sense because you're spending all this money on rent as you're saving money to buy a house. But why not just buy the house and then pay the money that you can pay for rent toward the mortgage over a certain amount of time?
And I think that speaks to your needs, because if you got 5 kids, you can't stay in a 1-bedroom too long. So it just depends on your needs. And a lot of times we always...
No, but I'm saying his point is, I'm going to rent until I buy cash. And he did wind up buying his house cash.
But everybody don't have that luxury.
Yeah.
But yeah, I understand the method. I do.
I don't understand it, bro.
I understand the method because if you don't want to, you pay interest. A $400,000 house, you're gonna pay back $800,000.
But you paying rent at an apartment or renting a house, you don't get none of that towards your principal.
You don't. But I mean, again, it goes to the style of the person. It depends on what they're looking at, what kind of investment they're trying to make.
That's ill though. Muslims, it's against their religion.
It's against. I was like, what? He was like, yeah, we don't believe in it. Like it's a faith issue. Yeah. And he said, Americans will put $1 million on an installment plan. You ain't lying.
Ain't never lying.
I ain't gonna hold you like y'all say in Jersey.
Like, we'll put a couch on an installment plan. We'll sleep in a bed that we paying for rooms to go.
Yeah.
Like, do you abide by that philosophy?
What? No,
you don't pay interest?
No. I use other people's money all the time.
Not your own.
No, yeah. I do interest.
Oh, but you're saying use the bank, you'll do interest.
Yeah,
gotcha. I think that's a cool thing to say, though.
Yeah. It is cool to say.
Maybe I
borrow, though.
So, for sure. Yeah. So what other differences have you seen in the culture with your investors and our community? I'm always interested in this stuff. Like Asians.
So
how they operate.
They ain't paying full price. They are the best negotiators, and they don't flinch. They don't care nothing about market value, nothing. None of that. Some of the coldest clients to work with. You know, so you tell them the house 300, 150,000. Like, but you know that's half, 150,000, and they don't care. Well, I tell them it's probably gonna insult the seller. They insult me by asking that much. Like, yo, it is what it is.
Yeah, they're insulting me by asking that much.
Right. Another thing with one thing I've noticed with the art of buying that I've been definitely teaching and trying to change. When a black family goes to look at a house, they make the kids stay inside the car. White family, they'll let everybody come out. And sometimes the black children miss the exposure of house hunting, of that next step in life.
You've experienced that?
Oh, absolutely. They tell them, stay in the car, be quiet. I'd be like, no, let them come pick out a room. Because they need to see this. They need to see this.
Over and over again, you've seen that?
I have. No, everybody doesn't do it.
Right, of course.
But when I first started, it was something that I had to constantly ask families, can they come in and be a part of this experience?
Why do you think that is, bro?
It's just, they feel like, well, them being loud or rowdy is, going to disturb the transaction, or they're not going to think this or going to think that. No, but you're robbing them of the greatest investment of their life, and that's buying a house.
Dang, we have been conditioned. Yeah, that's why I really love what I do in terms of this podcast so much, because I get to expose Black excellence on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. And it's not just one episode. It's not one episode or one person, not two people. We're 100 and almost 200 episodes in right now of story after story, example after example of someone who's doing it that's contrary to what we've grown up seeing.
Right.
How'd you grow up? What?
Poor. Very poor. My mom had me by a married man, so I didn't meet my father until I was 8 years old. One of the things I can remember.
Your mom had you by a married man.
Yeah. My father was married.
And she wasn't
the wife.
Was she with anybody at the time?
Nah, she was a 19-year-old girl from Jersey, Piscataway. And came down and met my father at a party, and they just started kicking it. And from that, I was here. Right?
Did she know he was married?
Yeah. Yeah.
How'd that affect you?
It was tough. Because I grew up feeling like I was half created, not understanding how to trace, who my pops was, what his vices was, what his devils were. So I'm fighting stuff. I don't even know why I'm fighting it.
Wow.
Yeah.
When you said you met him at 9?
I met him at 9.
What was going on in your life before that? Were you asking?
Nah.
You never asked, hey, mommy, where's my daddy?
Never.
All my friends got dads. What is this whole dad thing?
She told me I had one, and they didn't get along, and that was kind of the basis of it. My mom was very into church, so, very strong in faith, and went to church and did that, and I really didn't ask a whole lot of questions. The community of men in the church kind of picked up the slack as much as they could.
Got you. And what did you feel when you met him?
I remember he picked me up and said, hey, I'm your dad. And we went and got, those Mickey Mouse ice creams?
Yeah.
We went and got one of them joints from the store. And he's like, I'm going to be seeing you more often. I was like, all right, bring some ice cream money, But I didn't know what to think at first. Mm-hmm. And then it got a little rocky because he was with his wife at the time, and me being introduced as the baby son, I had an older brother, so his wife and my mom really didn't rock like that.
Right.
So because they didn't rock, it got tumultuous again, and he got pulled out of my life for another 7 years. So I really didn't start chilling and hanging out with him until I was 15.
Dang, tumultuous. You got that? That's a word, bro. I'll be trying to educate him. So until 15,
mm-hmm.
you see him again.
Right.
You're older now.
Right.
The conversation got to be a little different.
It is. What
was that like?
I was impressed by him because he was a police officer in law enforcement. Always had on the uniform, person of authority. I wanted to hear the stories about him knocking people out, even though that wasn't real. I just wanted to hear stories about it, So I had a giant in my life that I didn't have before, and wanted to be just like him. We still pick till the day about going to the shooting range, and my dad is a great shooter. So, we always talked about that, and I always wanted to impress him about what I did, even with making detective. Before he got injured, that was his goal, was to make detective. So that was one of the reasons why I wanted to be a detective so bad, to make him proud.
Dang.
Yeah.
So you were like really You didn't feel no type of way like, bro, you left me.
Oh, most definitely.
But it seems like you were just more excited that he was in your life now.
Yeah, I internalized the hurt and pain of him not being there. The older I got, I understood it more.
Yeah.
But, what can I do about it at 15?
How did it affect you today, you think?
It makes me not... Sometimes, like I told you before, I feel like there's a certain level of success that I'm going to get to that I felt like I was going to fumble the bag because I didn't have substratum or foundation to help me with man things or understand what that looks like.
Say that word again?
Substratum.
Substratum is...
Foundation.
You went to college?
Nah.
You got some words on you, boy.
Did you get that one, Dave?
Say again?
Did you get that one?
Oh, for sure. Substratum. I'm using that. So you feel like you didn't have a foundation?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Dang. And you still close with your mom now?
Oh, yeah. 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 That's my heart.
Dang, man. Yeah, I think people don't realize how like a situation like that affects them.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom and dad was together, but it was like kind of on and off and on and off. And I think because it was so inconsistent, I've always had, what's it called? Not trust issues, but abandonment.
Mm-hmm.
So before people leave me, I leave them.
I identify with that.
And I really, it's crazy. We're talking about this right now. That's the first time I've ever said that,
right.
Or even like really put that together.
Right.
Because it wasn't that anyone left me. It was like me and my mom would leave and leave my dad, and then we come back, and then we'll leave again. So I can't necessarily fall in love with anything.
Somebody told me, I was married before, right? So in that instance, when you leave and come, it's like you're practicing divorce. So it gets easier and easier every time. So that's why divorce is so easy to do, because you practice it, when you leave and go and leave and go. So it gets easier.
So when you speak to people, do you like kind of tackle some of those issues?
Oh, yeah.
So as a speaker, right, you travel, and what is your market that you speak in?
Churches, try to speak to a lot of leadership, CEO. I'm speaking tomorrow at Benedict College about financial literacy. So financial literacy stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much
what you're going to be speaking on.
Just talking about simple stuff. I have something called How Budgeting Can Upgrade HBCU. So you just take
I like that.
Right.
I got you.
So just talking about how to save money, what money looks like, reintroduce them to money. Because everybody has a mindset about money. Until you reintroduce to it, you don't know what to do with it.
What's your relationship with money?
Oh, man, it came from somewhere else, and it was never enough. It was on welfare. My mom always complained about it not being enough. So I didn't know how to handle it when I got it. So now that after I going broke, having a credit score of 498, sleeping in the truck while being a police officer, I understand it better now.
What made you lose the money?
Not having a foundation of how to get it, even though it wasn't a lot, just getting it. And then when I got it, I used it for emotional instead of saving it. You know what I'm saying? Going out to eat was the biggest thing, spending it on something that made me feel good.
I'll be doing that.
I think we all do sometimes.
Yeah, but I do think about that, like those stories of people who are super up and then they lose it all. And I'm trying to understand how they lose it all. But at the same time, I can go buy some shoes or something. Like I can go eat, I can go travel.
Well, they don't lose it all for buying shoes and traveling. It's bigger than that. It's I think a lot of it is, for one, because I was talking to somebody at the boot camp, and one of the biggest things is when you hand an athlete that much cash, you don't change their mindset. You change their bank account.
That's a fact.
But you don't change their mindset. So when you hand them that kind of money, they go and do what they wanted to do before they got it. Because money is psychological. If I tell you now, Dave, I give you $10,000, it's already spent in your mind before it gets to your pocket. When Biggie said, mind on my money, money on my mind, that was real. Because money is psychological. We spend it here before it gets there. So I think they don't have the resources to know what to do with it. And then when they get it, for one, they got people around them that just take.
For sure.
So yeah. Shoes, it didn't do it. Nah.
Okay, all right, cool. because I was getting nervous, and I have a plan. I think I overinvest because I'll invest a whole lot in myself.
Mhm.
I'll invest in investments, and every investment doesn't pan out.
Mhm.
But I don't. When it comes in, I try to use it because I understand like having money sitting there means I'm losing money.
Mhm.
What is your philosophy on that?
I believe the same thing. Maintaining is not succeeding. When you maintain, you start to die.
Let me tell you another level too. My boy was talking about just this guy, just multi-millionaire.
Mhm.
And he says he only has about $60,000 in his account. So anytime he gets money, he gonna buy some property, he gonna put it in stocks. He does not want the cash at all.
That makes sense. Because like you said, you over-invest? Not really, because investment, it comes back.
Yeah.
It might not be your lifetime, but your kids or grandkids or whatever down the road, it's going to come back.
That's a fact.
When you spend money, it don't come back. But you can't over-invest.
No?
No, because it comes back. You just might not see it.
I mean, but sometimes you can relate to an entrepreneur that's always, bro, I'm always trying to get a bag.
But see, you got it's risk assessment too. You know what I'm saying? That's why the bank sends an appraiser out to see if it's worth them putting the money out. So when you spend money that you haven't looked at the ROI, that's not investing. That's stupid.
Got you. And what do you think people lose most of the money on? You lost all your money, right?
I did.
You were up and then...
No, I wasn't up. I was on a police salary. It wasn't up. It wasn't up. No.
Oh, so you've always been on an upward... You haven't had a dip where you lost it all?
Nah.
What do you do with your money?
I invest in myself. I love cars.
And what does that look like?
Trainings, building my business, buying stuff that I need for the business, things like that.
And
property.
Cars?
Yeah, cars.
I saw the little G-Wagon outside.
Yeah,
that's hard.
Yeah.
How many cars you got?
9.
You're doing too much, bro.
No, but those...
You got 9 cars?
But they're rented.
Oh, you're renting them out?
Yeah. Never I need to go pick up one. I just pick up one.
You can live that lifestyle.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay, yeah. I feel that. I had another question in terms of how to evaluate a good real estate investment deal.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, just...
That one, and I got a question on the cars, but go ahead on that one.
Just look at the return. I mean, a lot of people think you got to make a big bag on your first investment, but it's not. As long as you make something back, it's about the knowledge on your first investment, knowing what to do. You know, if you go buy a house for $100,000 and then you want to sell it, you make $150,000, but then you got to pay, realtor fees or whatever, and you might make 10 to 15. That's good because now you've broken the ice on what to do. A lot of people get into it and they want to throw granite, they want to do this, want to do that. I tell all my first investors, no, we're going to stick with something simple and we're going to use this until it breaks. We're going to put hardwood flooring, we're going to put carpet, and we're going to put a certain kind of granite. And we use that template for the next 15 houses, right? Because you know the cost of all those materials before you get there, so you can look at what your bottom line number is.
Yeah. You got kids?
Nah.
No? Do you want kids?
Nah.
You don't want kids?
Not this late.
Why not?
I missed the mark, man. I want to be 60 at graduation.
You didn't miss the mark. What are you talking about?
Nah, I'm good. I said if I ain't having by 30, I wasn't going to have none.
Really?
Yeah.
What if you meet... Are you dating right now?
Nah.
What if you meet a young lady that wants kids? The answer's no?
I'm 37, so,
37? Bro, I'm 36. I just had a child.
Yeah, you going to be 60 at graduation.
No, I'm not going to be...
How old are you?
Well, I guess, yeah. I'm 36.
At 18 years.
36.
Plus 20. 4 years from 60.
But 60 is different these days.
That's what everybody say. That's going to be 60 at graduation. No, for real. No, for real. It is 60.
But for right now, bro, I mean...
That's my mindset right now. If I meet somebody that, says, okay, I want a kid, I probably would. I don't know.
You think this has anything to do with your childhood?
Absolutely. That's my number one reason why. I said by 30 if I didn't have it, but my fear was, I can't say still is, that not seeing that blueprint as a father, wondering if I would be a good one or not. Honestly.
It's very transparent.
Yeah.
It's very transparent. I think And you never like think of that legacy, somebody you can teach.
I do. But I have nephews and nieces that I pour into a lot, like with that. Like one of my nephews, 18, he's in the stock market, got a nice little account, just teach him how to do that. So if I die tomorrow, I leave everything to him.
I feel that. I can't push nobody to have kids. Joe, you want to have a child?
For sure.
For sure. We need to get Joe some help. I don't know if his mindset ain't right. I don't know. He be on the dating apps trying to figure it out.
Oh, on the apps?
Hold up, wait a minute.
You don't be on the app?
Nah.
No?
Nah.
I met my wife on the app.
Yeah,
What, Plenty of Fish?
I don't disrespect with the Plenty of Fish. I'm not out here just...
What app you be on, D? Or was on? Dating is for suckers? No, I'm just kidding.
Actually, it was Tinder.
Oh, you had a Tinder, Joe?
Yeah, this is my wife, man.
He has a Tinder.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I gotta be a little Tenderoni on Tinder.
Hey.
They need to sponsor this podcast.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
I didn't know the weird stuff that goes on the apps. I was just...
What weird stuff, Dave?
It gets weird.
For instance, you know what hookup means? If you want to hook up, say you're on there, an app, and it says a girl wants to hook up.
The normal thing? Like, get up and chill, or whatever?
That's what you would think.
Yeah.
That's not the case. I didn't know that.
Okay.
Hook up means, I want to get together, I want to hook up, and then I'm going to leave.
What?
Yes.
No, they do that?
100%. Bro, look, I was on the app, bro, and I'm like, I'm a conversationalist.
Right.
So I see somebody that want to hook up. I'm like, all right, cool. Wow. So I'm like, hey, what's going on, man? I see we got a little connection.
So he going over there
talking.
talking.
Connection. And she's like, yeah, so, what's side of town you on? And I'm like, I live where I live. What do you know what I'm saying? What side of town you on? And they'll tell me, I'm like, oh, you ain't too far from me. So, what are you into? What do you like? And I'm having these conversations, and eventually they just stop texting back. I'm like, I thought she liked me.
Wow. That's what I'm here for.
That's not what I'm here for.
I ready to feed ducks and not.
Bruh, I'm thinking hook up means you just want to connect. And it doesn't mean that, bro.
How long take you to figure that out? If they stop texting?
No, afterwards. After I met my wife, and I'm like, yeah, I met her on Tinder. People like, what? Tinder? And I got like 4 people looked at me like that. And I'm like, hold on, okay, so tell me what's up with this whole Tinder thing.
Right.
And they was telling me what happened.
You closed your account out since then though, right?
100%.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Right. I know
yeah, it was like after I got serious with my wife, I closed it out.
You changed your avatar on there?
I'm just kidding. And then he gonna try to act like he don't got an account. You got an account. You know about the avatars and all that.
I promise you I don't.
So, he may not have one on Tinder.
Nah.
You got
You ain't got no one.
You ain't got a profile nowhere?
Nah.
Where you meet your joint?
I looked at farmersonly.com, but that's only because I want to sell land.
Farmers only?
It's a joke, man. It's a joke.
I was like, it's bad in South Carolina. You gotta get a farmer.
That's a real page, though.
I bet it is.
It's a real page. They got a jingle and all.
So how you meet people?
I mean, at events,
What's your approach?
Hey, how you doing? I'm Damian Burris. That's it. I mean, hey, what's going on? That's it. Ain't nothing flashy.
No?
Nah.
You got game.
They see right through that.
You got game.
Nah, not at all. Not at all. Just an introduction. Just conversation. Yeah.
When's the last time you were in a serious relationship? We're probably gonna get you married off on this podcast, bro.
Nah.
You never know.
It can happen.
Slide the DM. Brother got the beard and all that. I know beards is
Hey, man, hey, we in style right now, bro.
That's a new six-pack.
For sure. All day.
That's the new six-pack. But nah. It's been a little minute.
So, really?
Yeah. Just focusing. That's the answer you say when you want to.
Yeah, exactly. That's to leave you alone. I'm not answering the question. You're not about to get me out here. Yeah. All right, man. Well, thank you. This was very informative, man.
I appreciate it, man.
Very informative. I like your philosophy on building wealth and success. You got your hands in a lot, but you clearly see where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
Wiz, I got a question for you, too. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years so that when I watch this podcast 5 years from today, I can point and say, yo, Dame said he was going to be there. Look, he's there.
One of the things is to be a speaker at boot camp.
I feel that. I ain't mad.
To be speaking to corporations, churches, individuals still having a system, curriculum done. One of the biggest things that I want to do in my community, and hopefully it'll spread abroad, is to take the curriculum of real estate and put it in high schools for the kids that are not going to college.
That's dope.
And when they come out, I give them job placement and pay for their schooling to go to real estate school and put them wherever they want to be in the state.
And you mentor them through your brokerage.
Absolutely. So I'm actually sitting down with my old high school to talk about that.
That's dope.
How to put the curriculum in high school and make it an elective that they can take.
Dang, that's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Let me know if I can help with that too.
Absolutely.
I definitely have a passion for that. And I have a nonprofit called the Entrepreneurship Foundation.
That's what's up.
And the idea is taking the money and investing in youth entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, okay. All right. So we're going to see if you're just talking or are you really going to do this thing?
No. Real talk. I'm going to do it. You going to cut the check to the foundation tonight?
What foundation?
We're going to think of one.
I got a foundation. I need a check from you, brother. But,
no, for real. I got you.
Let me do this. I got to do a commercial real quick, pay some bills. But I need you to think of something really, really deep and thought-provoking to close this out with, all right?
I got you.
All right, cool. So this episode is sponsored, as always, by The Morning Meetup, themorningmeetup.com. TheMorningMeetup.com is the only organization, did you know, it's the only organization that gathers every single day, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, every day, Monday through Friday. You on there?
Absolutely.
You be on the calls?
I be on the calls.
Word?
Yeah. I share my subscription and all.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You enjoy it?
I do.
Yo, we got people all levels that's on the Morning Meetup.
Absolutely.
Y'all on the Morning Meetup? Y'all on there? You not? Why you ain't in no more? All right, guys, turn the camera. The guy that's not on the morning. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. With a room full of people that's in the Morning Meetup, and this one, I'm just playing. No, but go to themorningmeetup.com, man. We gather every single day. If you need a community, I think it's only a few things that people need. A community, you need customers, and what was it? Community, customers, and coaching. I think if you have these three elements, you could be very, very successful. Community, customers, a pool of customers, and coaching. Meaning you got mentorship. And the Morning Meetup has all three.
It does.
So go to themorningmeetup.com. You can try it out. It's only $1, $79 a month after that. But I mean, think about it. Every single day. We got a conference every week almost. Yeah. And but if you want to leave, you can leave. If you want to stay, that's awesome. It's $79 a month. Okay, so go to themorningmeetup.com and check us out. All right. So, Dame, thank you so much for joining us, man.
My pleasure.
I really appreciate it. Please let everybody know how they can find you. Okay. And then I need you to close this thing out with just put a bow on this whole conversation.
Gotcha.
And lead the people with something.
Instagram is Damian Burris. Facebook is Damian Burris. YouTube is My Pulpit Is Different. IG is Damian Burris. One of the things that I live by, or recently I've been teaching, the 7 streams of income thing. Everybody's trying to find the streams of income. But the thing that I'm teaching my people, my agents, and the people that are around me is find what you were created to do. That's instinct. You don't teach a lion how to roar. You don't teach a giraffe to eat from the tallest tree. You got to find your instinct. And your instinct creates abilities. So when you put that into perspective, stop looking for streams and find your river. Because a river flows 2 streams. And when you find a river, you find what you were created to do, you find your passion, and you find what comes natural. And then once you find that river, it creates other channels. My river is a river of help. I help people. From that is real estate. From that is coaching. From that is talking. From that is connecting with people. So when you find that river, your channels flow. You've never seen a tree on a branch. You've seen branches on trees because nothing happens backwards.
I can't close it out no better than that, man. Do me a favor, y'all. Go follow Damian, Wealth of Wisdom. And lastly, go get you some social proof, okay? Go build something. Go build something and remember how you build it. Every step of the way, the ups, the downs, the goods and the bads. Remember it, journal it, because I want you to, once you've built it, go back to your community and teach them how you did what you did. All right? We are out of here. Peace. What if I told you for $1, I will introduce you to hundreds of entrepreneurs every single morning this week? From all across the country, you'll be able to talk to hundreds of entrepreneurs and I'll coach you. I'll coach you for $1 this whole week. And I'll introduce you to some of my successful friends for $1 this week. Would you Would you take part in that? Well, go to themorningmeetup.com because that's exactly what we're doing here, okay? The only organization that gathers entrepreneurs every single day for the betterment of entrepreneurship, okay? Every single day, Monday through Friday, we gather, we're growing, we're learning. We got a book club. Have you ever seen hundreds of entrepreneurs reading the same book? Every single chapter, every single day, we're growing together, okay? You need the environment to grow in. Themorningmeetup.com, $1. I'm gonna give you all of this for $1. If you wanna stay, great. It's $79 a month after that. If not, no obligation. You can leave whenever you want. All right? themorningmeetup.com. I'll see you in the morning.